Where's the computer here?
What do you mean, where's the computer? It's in front of you, right?
There's a monitor in front of me, but I don't see the rest.
Oh, my God. Hello, you sexy biscuits, and welcome into the interview you've been waiting for. This is the first time in 6 years that I'm going to be interviewing Sir Toby. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me. I waited for the right occasion. I'm still not sure if this is the right occasion, but now it's too late to say no.
So I've been covering KCD, and I've talked to you since 2018, right? About March. So we've known each other a long time. We've met in real life, but we've never actually sat down and done a talk before.
I mean, we had an epic battle, but we never talked, so
No.
that's right.
We did. I did. I will say I did kick your ass at Farkle. And I can't wait to...
remember that.
No?
I can't remember. No,
No.
didn't happen.
It's fine. A rematch will happen. Just so you know. But today, I wanted to talk to you about Kingdom Come 2. Obviously, Warhorse Studios has kind of just exploded recently with the announcement of KCD 2. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you and what do you do at Warhorse?
I'm Toby. I'm the PR manager at Warhorse Studios. I'm pretty much responsible for the communications at Warhorse Studios. So of course I'm not alone. There's always someone within the team, but now thinking back, I think I'm the only one here from the team that hasn't changed. Meanwhile, I had different co-workers and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm at Warhorse Studios for 10 years now. Actually, in June, I celebrated my 10th year at Warhorse Studios.
Congrats.
Yeah, and I'm the one who's keeping all the secrets and not telling them or waiting for the right moment to tell them.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth over the years, I think, of you keeping things secret and me trying to claw it out of you would be the...
Mhm.
But I only do it out of love. And you are doing...
I feel it. Don't worry.
You're doing an incredible job. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Like,
Wait
honestly,
a moment. Aren't you the person who said we do bad PR because we don't say anything to anyone?
No, look, okay.
I do remember these things.
No, okay. If I was working at Warhorse Studios, I would have revealed something a little bit earlier, in my personal opinion. I would have left a little tidbit of information every now and again, like a picture or something, just to get people talking, because...
But that's why we have people like you, because you were the spearheads of spying through the internet and trying to gather every tiny nook and cranny and make a big fuss about it. So I think at the end of the day, if you're really honest, I think everything worked just fine. We kept the big thing in a way hidden. Well, it was probably the most public secret there was in the gaming industry. But still, you guys, and especially you, Roxy, were digging through the interweb and tried to interpret every fart that happened here at Warhorse.
Well, it's...
By the smell of that, it must be 1506, for instance.
You cannot say that was not a good... That didn't look like evidence, right?
The best thing that ever happened was the microwave thing. So we did a picture in the kitchen, I think, and on the microwave it said 15.3 or something, or 14.17 or something like that. Just some minutes, and people like, oh, that's it. That's the secret code. We cracked it.
Oh, that's
They're
amazing.
giving us the hints.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No,
No, it wasn't.
No, look, I know, and so I get a lot of people send me different things asking or telling me that they found some evidence, and I generally like to cover it, but there's some stuff that is just way out there, like the microwave thing. But that whiteboard was pretty enticing.
That was a mistake, though. Really, I mean, I said it. No, not a mistake by us. I mean, mistake in interpretation. This was really just so the system we use here at Warhorse to track bugs and everything or give feedback and stuff is called UTrack.
Yeah.
and there was just a regular U-Track number because there was it was, if I remember correctly, it was something like a workshop where people from some reenactment group or something, they brought
Yes.
weapons and armor and so on, and the number that was in there was just a U-Track number, including the two, so it was KCD 2 dash something, and it was just a number actually. I mean, the two in there was an unfortunate thing, but as I said, it was just a U-Track number.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't matter. That I guess that's not why you want to talk to me today, right? About that U-Track number.
Well, that was part of it. No. We've had a lot of questions. We've had a lot. There are so many that I don't even know where to begin. So I guess the first thing I should probably ask. I've done this topic in the past, and I've made videos about there possibly have been a serial killer or murderer in Kingdom Come One. Did you hear about that and like all of the weird like you found
I mean, I of
bodies?
course I
Yeah.
watch all your videos, of course, so I also know the one you're referring to. I mean, in this house in the woods kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? So and yeah, of course. I mean, we had those accident sites, and some accident happened there, or you could find some point of interest or something. And like with everything else in KCD 2, we are taking what you know from KCD 1 and boost it up, make it better. And also the points of interest, the accidents and so on, they shall be more interesting
Ooh.
and more common and just more
Ah.
interactive. Maybe that's not the right word, but just cooler. So yes, of course there will be points of points of interest as well, and we are giving in them more time and more love and more passion.
Okay. Well, that's good because I liked those random moments that weren't explained. You know, I think that really helps with the immersion. It helps with
Hmm.
role playing.
Hmm.
And I feel like having like more of those kind of things you can kind of investigate on your own and come to your own conclusion, like the
Yeah.
grave with the fireflies, like
Hmm.
that those little moments of Kingdom Come One, I would love to see explored a bit more in Kingdom Come Two. So that's
Absolutely.
amazing. That's brilliant.
And if you think back on KCD 1, we also had those different graves with Wolverine, Harry Potter, a witch that fell from the sky on her
Yeah.
broomstick. So, uh, and as always, there's a ginormous Easter egg which I know of and I can't tell you, but I'm really looking forward on someone finds that because that is super weird and um, yeah,
Oh
in those Easter eggs and in those jokes, we don't take ourselves too serious
no.
and go over the top, which is good, I think, and
Yeah.
makes the game just so much more fun.
I
Like for
I'm
instance,
yeah.
the traffic cones in KCD 1. I mean, no one started to argue with us like, "Hey, that's not historically accurate." Of course not. But everyone's like, "Ha, funny! There's a traffic cone." So this
Yeah.
kind of silliness is there as well, but of course this must be hidden because this shouldn't be too much in your face. Otherwise, we kind of devalue the premise of our game.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
obviously,
Right.
Kingdom Come Deliverance is aiming, well, KCD 2 as well as Kingdom Come 1 is aiming for that historical accuracy. We've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
We've had discussions about this, and I think that I love the historical accuracy, and I want that to be the case still. And I'm assuming that is the main goal, right? That is you're still
Absolutely.
focusing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But I get so many questions from journalists that are they're placing the question in a way that it seems like the historical accuracy is something like a um, handicap or something, but it really isn't. This is not something that holds us back.
mm,
It's just a tool we use when writing the quest or a vessel to deliver our story kinda. So instead of dragons flying around, we are trying to figure out what were possible problems of people that time.
yeah,
Plus the historical stuff like King Sigismund of Hungary is attacking, King Wenceslas of Bohemia was attacked and was abducted, and so on. So and around that there's this group of lords, League of Lords, how they were called, that is now trying to figure out on who's on which side. So it has a lot of which I like about the story of KCD. It has a lot of Game of Thrones moments, kind of. So you have the different houses, but you are not sure who's friend and who's foe. And pretty much, if you think back on KCD1, the last quest of the game was the lords sitting together in Rattay and talking about Otto von Berghoff, who is the lord of Trotsky,
Yeah.
and they are giving you this letter, which should ask Otto von Berghoff in a way on which side he is, but you can't ask too obvious because you don't want to tell him on which side you are. So you need. So that's very interesting. They need to reach out to that person without actually like telling and
Yeah.
these kind of intrigues and quarrels and problems. That is the main story that will push forward, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, yeah. So it's one of those topics that comes up a lot, and I've obviously talked about it before, and there's the diversity topic is very kind of that's kind of a very divisive topic, and
Mm.
that's something that yeah, it's hard to talk about because I want the game to be historically accurate, but a place like Kutnahora might be a little bit more diverse because of trade and stuff. But I like that you are sticking to your guns, and that's brilliant. I will say, in terms of Easter eggs and stuff, there is an Easter egg, and I want to clarify this with you because I heard that there is still one Easter egg in Kingdom Come One we have never found.
Yeah, but I don't know which one it is. So
Ah,
I don't know who told you this, but
no,
I didn't track them all down, and I unfortunately don't have a list of them. So this might be street gossip. Maybe I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you.
I
But
can't remember who it was. It was someone at Warhorse told me that there was one that we were missing, and it's
mm,
always stuck with me as something that there's no way no one hasn't found it already, right? Like
mm,
I don't know what it is. One day
mm.
we'll find out because they're still finding stuff in old games.
I
Like
mean, you will have KCD2 which will be bigger than KCD1
yeah,
on so many merits. So it's not only the size of the maps is bigger, but also the base storyline is longer and more quests and more stuff to do and
yeah,
more activities and so on and so on, which equals more Easter eggs most likely. So there's a lot of things to go through. But I would like to, if I may, just
yeah,
and then we can close the topic about the diversity thing. That's
yeah.
a really stupid discussion, honestly. That is something that we don't want to have, and it's something. It's a uh, what is important, and that is something. And with that statement, I would like to end this discussion.
Yeah.
Everything we put in KCD1 and every single bit we put into KCD2, we stand 110% behind it, and we rebuild it and planned it and made it and built this game with the best of our knowledge
Yeah.
and made sure that, as I said, we stand behind everything we put in the game. So, and we will stand behind everything that we put in the back then in the game. So, and with that, really, I think the discussion about diversity and also what does it mean actually diversity? Everyone understands something different about that. The Americans understand something different than the Europeans and so on. So, at the end of the day, this is just video game
Yeah.
that should be fun for everyone.
Yeah.
And no one forces us to put anything in the game we don't want to.
No, exactly,
That
and
is
I think
pretty
that's
much
good
the.
because you
So
have
this equals also that we are 110% standing behind everything that will be in KCD2 or will not be in KCD2.
that kind of brings me up to a point of in terms of like what does the publisher have like control over anything, or is Warhorse completely in control of what's going to be in Kingdom Come 2? Is I'm hopefully it's hands off with Play On and Deep Silver and stuff, I'm
Hmm.
assuming.
So we have complete creative freedom. So they are not telling us to do anything. That's
Okay.
also, as I said, no one forces us to put
No, no.
anything into the game or change anything because it's too whatever, I don't know, too gory or not gory enough or whatever. So these things, everything we put in there is comes from Warhorse Studios,
Okay.
essentially from Daniel Vavra.
Yeah.
He's the creative director. And the only thing that PlayOn is helping us is marketing and putting it on the bigger stages, on the higher shelves, and so on and so on, and make it just make some more noise.
Well, I mean, it's working. I mean, comparing Kingdom Come One's like announcement, Kingdom Come One was a lot smaller. I mean, in terms of the public eye, I didn't hear people generally talking about it, right? But Kingdom Come Two has been everywhere. Like I have seen big creators talking about it. It was at the game, like the Summer Games Fest, like that. I mean, the one thing that kind of bothered me with Kingdom Come One was when I think it was the Game Awards. It wasn't given any or even talked about, and I think the music alone in KCD One is so freaking good, and it deserves it. And I'm hoping now that your reach is bigger, that I'm hoping that it will get looked at for more awards and stuff. And I did see that Jan Volta, for instance, he's won an award for the music. So
Already, right?
yeah,
No, but he won an award for KCD One.
yeah,
But now with KCD One being successful and that achieved something, it's of course easier to promote KCD Two than back in the days. Back in the days, it was an unknown IP that went on Kickstarter. Kickstarter games are the weird indie projects and so on. So I think it made waves, but we had to put way more effort into making ourselves be seen
yeah,
by the world. And now with KCD2, it's a bit easier. But also, I think the way how we did the announcement with this video and so on, it generally also helped to make some waves, because I don't think it was like a super innovative idea, but still no one really does it the way we did it, and I think it really ticked all the boxes, at least from our fans, and it was interesting for enough to even breach that bubble.
the announcement trailer, like this when Tom McKay rides up and then Hans is like, "It's our good night." What was it, Henry? And just that moment, just like I haven't felt like that watching a trailer in years. So well done.
I mean, it's like for you, it must be like not that you are back in business, you were before, but for you, it's a new start, a continuation of something big,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
right?
like
You're getting back into spotlight.
no, I look. I've obviously, I will say, Kingdom Come made the channel what it is, right? I'm not gonna deny that.
And then Mafia 1 and Mafia 2.
Yeah, Mafia 1 Definitive Edition was great, and a little bit of Star Citizen with the Evelyn Wondersnatch.
Oh
But
yeah.
no, I've always been waiting for that moment for Kingdom Come 2 to be announced, because I want to jump back into that and kind of get that essence again of my old content, where there was just like the Biscuit Town series, the kind of those moments that stuck with me. And actually that brings me into a question. Are you even thinking about DLC for Kingdom Come 2, or is that too early?
So the situation with KCD1 was that we had to deliver a game, release a game, and then we were thinking of DLCs.
Yep.
Now with KCD2, we of course we trust ourselves more now, but still the DLC we focus completely on the main game right now.
Yep.
We have some ideas for DLCs, but as of now, it's more yeah thinking than something concrete. I'm 99% sure that there will be DLCs, because it showed on KCD1 that the lifespan of the game was just longer.
Yep.
If you go on Twitch right now, you will still see people streaming it. The Royal Edition, not only does it contain all the DLCs, but it was just also a rounder feeling with the bug fixes in there and so on.
Yeah.
It was just a very good thing to have in there. So it would be a shame if we wouldn't do that for KCD2 as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a few questions I want to ask that kind of correlate to that. A, why wasn't I in Kingdom Come 2? Rude.
I don't know. I don't choose the names or voice actors.
Well, hey, hey, you've just said there's possibly DLC, so you never know. I'm
Yeah,
right here.
absolutely. I mean, if we do something, then it should be in the DLCs, I guess. So
Ah,
uh,
oh my
I'll call
god.
you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that brings up another point. From the Ashes, the best DLC, of course, Biscuit Town. Will there be any building like there was in that in Kingdom Come 2?
I can't tell you yet. So these story related stuff is
Yeah.
something that is that I can't tell you, but the way how we usually think here is that we don't want to repeat the same thing again.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually are going for something new, something different, rather than
Okay.
repeat the same old story. But this doesn't mean that this is not like saying that this will not happen for
Yeah.
sure, but I just don't think it will.
No, that's fair enough. And I wanted to talk about mods because it's one of these questions. When Kingdom Come 1 was at its heyday, right? The amount of people I had asking me, are mods coming to console? I don't know why, but for some reason people just kind of correlated RPG with Bethesda. Bethesda have mods on console. For some reason, people
Mm,
then assumed that Kingdom Come would also, which I never
yeah.
understood personally. That's not
So I can tell you, I
yeah.
can tell you that first third parties like Sony and Microsoft, they generally hate mods on console
Mm,
simply because when you buy a PlayStation or Xbox, they are kind of promising you that it will not crash.
yeah.
But mods need to be constantly updated so that the
Hmm.
game is still able to run. So essentially, what can happen, and everyone who mods games on PC knows that what can happen is that your game gets unplayable at some point, and then you need to uninstall them, and you could break some files, and so on and so on. So it's just mods can, and that's why consoles, though they generally don't like it, and it's a huge hassle to get it in there. And I also don't think but maybe I'm wrong here. I don't think that uh, the mods that are on consoles, that they are community driven mods. I think they
Oh,
are
they are.
somehow, are they?
Yep.
So it's not going through Bethesda before it goes to the consoles,
No. So the
because the mods we had for KCD did not go through our, so it was like completely pure community stuff. And if it
so
works, it works. If not, if then not.
yeah, there are paid ones. There are ones
Yeah.
that are at the Bethesda kind of will have up for a certain price, and those ones are confirmed to
They are
work
then definitely
100%.
curated through the developer,
Yeah.
right?
But there's also ones that are released on Bethesda.net that are just put up there, and you can just download them or whatever. So yes and no. Obviously, you'd have to make a whole modding system. It's a whole thing, and that, of course, brings us to the modding in general. I think I've talked about this before. You know my stance on this. I think that the sooner that modding, I'm not expecting it day one, of course not, but the sooner that modding tools are released, the more possibility the game has for that avenue.
Hmm.
And I think it's important. If look at again Bethesda, look at Skyrim, right? That obviously
Yes.
had that life has been longevity. That's a good word.
Hmm. Hmm.
Longevity.
Hmm.
I think that if you got the modding tools out within 6 months, let's say, I
Hmm.
think that a lot more people would be on there making stuff, and then you could have those Game of Thrones mods that were planned for Kingdom Come 1, for instance. It's a bit tough.
Yeah, you're right. If we do modding, then there will be the modding tools should. I hear you, and that's a fact. So if modding tools come, which I can't confirm at this moment, but if they come, they should come earlier than they came for KCD1. Plus, maybe if possible, make them a tiny bit less complicated to implement and to actually mod something. But it's due to the engine. The CryEngine is it's a difficult engine. It's a very good engine, but a very difficult one when it comes to those mods. Plus, KCD is still and always was KCD1 a house of cards, and if you just move something, then everything could happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, that brings up another question, the one that I think the most asked thing about Kingdom Come Deliverance, not Kingdom Come 2, Kingdom Come 1, next gen update.
So we don't have the time for it. So if everyone is doing really KCD2 nonstop here.
Yeah.
Next gen update. I don't want to say it never happens. It can. We don't rule it out, but it would have to be in a cooperation with another dev studio like Saber Interactive or someone who did the port for KCD 1 on Switch. But there's no one so far who would be willing to do that, or there's no. Okay, it's not a thing yet. But as I said, never say never.
Yeah. Okay.
On the other hand, really, there must be also expectations management, because only because it's ported to PS5 or Xbox Series, it doesn't mean that it will run 60 frames smoothly. I mean, it might, but it's not a given thing. It's not like you just use it somewhere else. It's not like you just click a switch and then all of a sudden it runs better.
No.
That's why we need some other. We would need some other studio to help us here and get stuff done. But yeah,
I mean,
it's not as
obviously,
easy
like,
as it sounds. It's really just not
yeah.
some click and then there you go. If it would be so easy, then it would have happened already for so long ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting anything. I always thought that it wasn't going to happen anyway. It would be nice, obviously. But I will say, when you mention it, the Switch port, insane. I don't know how the
Insane,
hell they
right?
got it to work. That just insanity. Retai should blow up the Switch, to be honest, but it still works somehow.
Yeah, absolutely black magic. If you ask me, I have no idea how they made it. I saw different iterations of it. I saw a very, very, very early version of that, like a year or so ago, and I thought, oh my god, this will never happen. But it happened, and it looks. Hey, it's among the maybe I'm exaggerating, but it's among the best ports I've ever seen on Switch. So it's like with
Yeah.
it's right up there with The Witcher 3, and
Yeah.
that is something. Black magic, really.
Okay, couple of important ones. Third person.
Nope.
No, I didn't think so.
KCD stays KCD.
Yeah, that's fine.
Always will.
There's a little bit of a rumor flying around in the community that there could possibly be a big change in terms of playable characters. Have you heard this?
No.
No.
What's the rumor?
So there is this feeling in the community that we might be able to, or might get a chance to play as hands. Is that anything you want to comment on? or no?
You want to? Interesting rumor, but
Yeah.
it's a rumor, right? So I've never heard it before, and
Okay. We'll leave it at that. Okay.
but I can't.
No, I know.
I won't tell you anything about the story and
No.
the stuff in there anyway. So even if that was a thing, I wouldn't tell you. But
That's
I've
fine.
never heard that rumor. So
That's surprising. Because
I heard different rumors.
okay. Obviously, the other one is where the bloody hell is Teresa? I'm guessing she's still back in Ratai, right?
Story thing.
Okay. I'll stop pushing.
I mean, you can try, but I didn't tell you about the existence of KCD2 up until the announcement, right? Almost.
No, God, it
Didn't
was like
break
getting
for
blood out of
8
a
years or
stone
what.
talking to you. Okay, like the main ones, these have been answered before. I'll just go through these quickly. Savior Schnapps is in the game.
Absolutely, but the thing is about it, because again, this is something that sometimes is being asked as a bad thing, and I know that you also use the mod
Yes,
for the saving mod, and you
course.
also had the carrying capacity mod, right?
Look, I hate carry weight in video games. It's the most annoying, tedious thing, having to go into your inventory every 5 minutes, right? And that's my least favorite thing about playing it on console. Okay.
Uh,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'll admit it. I do, or I use the carry weight mod. It's
That's
amazing.
fine. I am absolutely fine with that, and we support people modding the game if they want to do that. Fine for us. We don't care as long as you play it and enjoy it. Fine for us. But the savior schnapps thing. So again, this is being that's like a love hate thing, but we this stays the same. We really want you, the player, to consider saving yes or no. You are right, or people are right that in KCD1 in the beginning when you needed the savior schnapps most, then it was hard to come by, which was definitely a mistake. Now looking back, it was a mistake. You should have had more of it. Maybe it shouldn't have been that expensive. Maybe you should be able to craft it earlier, something like that. And that is something that we will change. So in KCD2, it will be easier to come by. It will be you will have it more. There will be more autosaves as well from the game, so the game will not punish you or something. So,
Okay.
but even though we give you more of those savior schnapses, we still want you to have this minimum investment of using an item just to rethink your decision or something like a think of it like a how do you call the thing the you need to open a chest or a key a door, not a
Lockpick.
key but
A magic key.
this
The
no
lockpick. Lockpick.
lockpick,
Yeah.
exactly. Think of it like a lockpick.
Yeah.
So you have 10 lockpicks or 9 lockpicks or 7 lockpicks or whatever. So you're of course trying to open that chest, but if you do so, you have this minimum investment that you might lose a lockpick. And with the saving, it's kinda the same philosophy. We want you to use an item before you safe scam yourself through a door or I
Yeah.
don't know what. So this stays in there, and we want the player just to really be more like consider their actions more.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough, and I'm fine with using it. It's just, yeah, as a content creator personally, I like having the
I
ability
understand,
to
yeah.
save, right? Whenever. So tourneys, are they going to be back?
Tournaments like
Yeah.
in Ratai.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We are thinking of somehow incorporating these things. I mean, people liked it. We liked it. It was fun. It generally those things like tournaments or markets or whatever, they add so much to immersion because people are talking in the game. You can listen to it. You can watch other people watch it in
Yeah.
game. I mean, so they are really cool. All these elements are really cool. Like someone at the stall shouting cabbages or something. These
It's
are
so
these just
stupid.
add so much to the
Yeah.
game when you walk through a market.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that Kuttenberg, for instance, has several different markets because the way how it was historically, it was not on one central location, but there was this animal market and coal market and
Oh,
food market and so on.
that's
So
so cool.
weapons and so you
Yeah.
can really going through the city. You can go to different kind of not districts or maybe I don't know, but like kind of different markets in different streets, which is kind of cool. Again, immersion. You are going there. Different people will sell different stuff. Kuttenberg is a hub for interesting people anyway.
Yeah.
So and I'm really looking forward to that.
What about jousting? I know that was a thing that a lot of people wanted in KCD1. Is there going to be jousting?
Uh, Jousting is not as common as it looks in
Ah,
uh, pop culture,
okay.
but also it's something. It's like it's a bit it goes a bit too far for us, I think.
Okay.
So jousting will not be a thing. We are rethinking the tournament anyway. So the
Yeah.
way how everything you know from KCD1, again, I have to stress that
Yep.
everything you know from KCD, most of the stuff you know from KCD1, we took it and upgraded it in some form of shape. Even Farkle gets an update. Upgrade, update, evolution, not revolution, evolution. Most of the
Oh,
stuff are getting evolutions.
how? How do you update
I don't
Farkle?
tell you yet. I don't tell you yet,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
cool.
Will
I
there
like it.
be weighted die that you can find?
Oh, the
Yeah.
magic die? I
Yeah.
don't know. I honestly don't know. I
Oh, okay.
guess, but
I
but
hope so because
that's
that
not
was
the
my.
evolution. That's something different.
Oh,
But
that's exciting.
it would be cool. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Are polearms and stuff going to be implemented? Because they were kind of in the first game, but they weren't like
Yes,
properly.
yes.
Ah, fantastic.
We
Okay.
didn't talk so much about it in the announcement, but well, we did partially. But generally we upgraded the weapons. Generally, the combat is upgraded, so
Yep.
it's easier, cooler. For every weapon, we had a dedicated, like, I don't know, called him stuntman or expert or someone in the studio to do the motion mocap sessions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every weapon should feel differently. The animations are not shared anymore. So in KZD1, sword and axe, for instance, have the same animations. This will be different now
Oh.
because every weapon has now different animations, which is
Yeah.
great. Feel different. This also means that we can offer different styles. So
Oh.
uh, so we always said the combat system is easy to learn but hard to master. I
Yeah.
think we really learned the hard to master, but the easy to learn was difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
But this time I think we nailed it. But because we gave each weapon a different complexity, kinda. So if you want the easy to learn thing, take an axe, take a hammer, and that's like a very straightforward bash, bonk the opponent on the head.
Yeah.
But the if you want to have it even more complex and more even like a deeper combat system than it was in KCD1, then go for a sword, for instance, that will offer you the different stances
Oh,
and
so cool.
but by stances I mean combos
Yeah.
and tricks and I don't know and the different location where to attack and so on. While the axe, for instance, has less zones where you can attack because it's
Oh.
supposed to be easier.
Okay.
So there's again this easy to learn, hard to master is now transferred on the weapons types. And
Oh.
yes, we added crossbows and the early gunpowder weapons, but
Yes.
also revamped or upgraded or made the pole arms or halberds, how do you call that in
Oh yeah.
English, better. So yeah, this will be a
Fantastic.
thing in the game. I
Okay.
mean, it was, but it was only so in KCD1. Now it will be better.
Then that kind of brings me up to the point of, are you going to be able to craft weapons? Because I know Henry's now a
Mhm.
blacksmith.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he always was, but
Yeah.
blacksmithing, in all honesty, is something that did not make it into KCD1. We wanted to have it earlier in there. I mean, he's son of a blacksmith after all. But you know how it is in game development. You have a ton of ideas on paper, and planning not always goes smooth. And things that seemed super easy turned out to be super hard, and vice versa. At the end of the day, we had to scratch the blacksmithing completely
Yeah.
and are happy that we can bring it now in there. But that's maybe good for the gamers because now with the experience from everything we did in KCD1, that makes the experience the feature itself better, I believe.
Yeah.
And if you
So,
want to,
come.
yeah, if you can remember how we did the alchemy system, then expect something of that complexity. Like you have to do the stuff manually
Oh, that's so cool.
and pull the bellows and hammer the iron and so on. It will never be a menu thing,
Yeah.
but you have to manually do the stuff. Heat
That.
the iron, look at the color of the iron, bash the right place on the sword or whatever you're making, horseshoe, and then yeah.
Are there going to be? Are you going to be able to mine for resources, possibly in the mines?
I don't want to tell too much here, but
Okay.
I mean, since you are blacksmithing now, you also have to come by materials.
Yeah.
But it's not like don't don't think too far here. Don't think of it like a survival type game
No.
where you have to, yeah, where you have to go to the forest and get wood. And I mean, it will be a lot simpler than that, but you
Okay.
will have to come by materials, of course.
Yeah. No, that's fair
But there
enough.
are several silver mines around the city of Gothenburg. That's why it was so rich, and that it will be. And silver generally will play a integral part of KCD2.
Obviously, you build your Henry in Kingdom Come One, and then we're heading into this sequel. Are we going to be able to, let's say, transfer our saves? Are we going to be able to carry on? Or are the skills going to kind of cross over? Or are they going to be? Or are we going to get amnesia or something, get knocked out and lose all our skills again?
So we were thinking of how to do it, and in the end decided that we will not have any save crossover, anything like that. However, the way how we describe it is that in KCD1 you are really dealing most of the time with local quarries, farmers, bandits, some minor problems. And in KCD2, you're getting to the big stages, to problems between kings. You're getting on a royal court. You see all those high nobles and so on, and Henry gets dragged into the midst of them in some form or shape. And I like to describe it as, imagine you're like the champion of the Sunday League soccer or football,
Yeah.
and now you're getting into the Premier League. So all of a sudden you're not the champion anymore, but you're just like, right? You're among people who are way stronger, way bigger, way better than you, and you are kind of need to get on their level again. So it's more like a continuation of Henry's way. Of course, you will have some kind of basic knowledge, but we also need to consider that there will be gamers who never played KCD1
Yeah.
before, and we can't punish them, and we need to give everyone the kind of the same experience. However, there will be moments in the game where in dialogues, for instance, they will ask you something. Hey, listen, how did this and that happen? And you answer in a way which will then have some minor impact,
Right.
right? So you are. I don't want to say you are in an advantage if you have played KCD1
No,
because
no.
that's definitely not the case. But you will have maybe you will have a wider picture maybe of the entire process that's going on.
Okay.
Um,
That's
but yeah,
interesting.
yeah, but I think I mean this maybe sounds scary for diehard fans, but I think the way how we did it is super respectful and careful towards fans of of KCD, so that they don't feel like they have to relearn all the crap again. It will be more like, hey, do you want to do combat practice, for instance?
Yeah.
And I guess even people who played KCD1 will do it anyway, A, for the feeling, and B, I mean, KCD released in 2018, and not everyone plays it still up to today, so we
No.
can't really. It, there's a mixed bag of people coming in, and we need to kind of be sure that we can onboard everyone. And the way how we do it, for instance, like KCD2 is written in a way that you absolutely do not need to know KCD1, but there will be, and I saw them on Monday. On Monday, we have a big meeting here, and where the cutscene department showed some cutscenes, and
Oh, yeah.
my God, the cutscenes are so good. And I saw one of those recap cutscenes most of the time when Henry, like, he's haunted by nightmares. This happened already in KCD1,
Yeah.
will happen in KCD2, and those nightmare situations will then tell you the bare minimum of information you
Yeah.
need to know from KCD1.
You
Your
like
parents
the
died.
highlights.
Hans Capon is your
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
This is the task you have. This is the most basic stuff you need to know.
Oh, that's
And then
fantastic.
go on. It's a great experience in front of you.
See, we're not going to have to learn how to read again. It's just no. Okay. Oh God. It's an interesting question actually. Tailoring, is that a thing in this? Can you dye clothes maybe?
If it wasn't seen in the announcement video, then I will not talk about it.
Oh, okay. Silly
I
Tony.
really can't tell
Okay.
you about what features are in there that were not visible already, right?
No,
So
no, that's
I
fair.
can tell you about the stuff you have seen and want to
Okay.
ask about. I can't tell you about the stuff that you haven't seen. So
Oh,
uh,
okay. I saw that there were all the new languages added. That's amazing. Not only are we getting Czech now, which is great, day one. And I know a lot
mhm.
of people were wanting Czech. So that's very
Yeah, but
impressive.
this is, I mean, KZD is Warhorse is located in Czech Republic, and we always wanted the Czech language in there. But really, it was a question. At the end of the day, it was a question of money and benefit, because when you have to decide to either invest into your work and money and uh, energy into this thing, but then you have to neglect something else. We decided that we will go with English. That is what we do here at Warhorse
Yeah.
Studios, and the rest we'll see. Back in the day, our publisher decided for German and French, which is fine for us because they did that, and we didn't have to do anything with it. And now with KCD2, we wanted to have the English, the Czech language from the get-go. We are still not doing it ourselves, so we're having a partner here in Czech Republic who's doing it. We can't do that ourselves, but the English voiceovers are completely made by us. So all the actors are here in Prague with us, and Tom McKay, Luke Dale are coming over every now and then, and so on. And yeah,
Oh, so obviously you're German. I have a question. It's a bit of a silly one. Can you say hippopotamus?
Hippopotamus.
You can say it. There are a lot of people that are German who cannot pronounce hippopotamus. It's worrying how many.
Random, but I like it.
Okay. That's the thing. Are you voicing anyone?
Unfortunately, not this time. I
Ah,
was voicing someone in KCD1, but they very quickly realized that I'm really shit at it. So they said,
no.
"Not this time, Toby."
No. Why, you bastards, what the hell do you think you're doing? Yeah. I thought you
Exactly.
did. I
I
thought
was
you did
Hans
quite.
Deutsch, and Hans Deutsch died. So there you go.
Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh,
Probably he died. I'm not even sure, but I guess he did.
oh, well, yeah. I'm assuming so, right? I don't know. We didn't find his bodies. He might be out there somewhere.
Yeah.
We're getting the dog companion back. Are they going to be an absolute pain in the ass like they were in the first game?
You can tell the dog to stay here, and you can leave him there. You don't need to you don't need to
Okay.
take him. But as with everything else, even the dog will have some kind of evolution in there, and we are
Oh,
trying to make him better and cooler and just more integrated. But you're right. From the DLCs,
yeah.
uh, the dog arrived with DLC 4 with the woman slot, so in the Royal Edition, pretty much. And we thought that the dog is pretty much something that really made the experience better
Yeah.
generally. So we decided we will have him in there from the get go, and so the dog will be a companion you have there.
One of the most, I think my least favorite thing in KCD was when you
Hmm.
guys added enemy dogs. They're right bastards, and I hate them. And they're so
Uh,
bloody annoying. Are they back?
there's more animals in general.
Oh, okay, okay. Can you list what animals we have? Is there like a
No,
no? Oh,
but there
come
will be
on.
more of them.
Okay,
There will
well
be
that's
more of them, and it will be great.
yeah, because obviously hostile animals just weren't in Kingdom Come, and I think that would be really cool to see.
There were boars, weren't there?
Yeah, but they
At least in a cutscene, but I'm not sure. Yeah,
were there actually boars in the wild? I don't remember ever seeing any. I think
I don't
were
know.
there?
Maybe because they were hiding in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So obviously this is going to be coming to Xbox Series SX, PS5, PC. Performance has obviously been talked about a lot. Um, uh, is there going to be I don't remember if this was talked about or not. Is there going to be a performance mode and a high resolution mode on console?
Right now, we don't think that's a thing we will do. We will
Okay.
absolutely make sure that on every platform it will, of course, I mean, what else, right? We will make sure that it runs as good as possible. Every console has a different or every platform has different advantages and
Yeah.
disadvantages, and we have it's not a handicap, it's just something to keep in mind when you work on the game on a game. But usually those optimizations in code and smoothness and so on you have to do for the lower performing platforms. They all very often benefit the other versions of the game very often benefit from that when you have more clever written code and so on. So but then again, because I saw that this made rounds and people got nervous about performances and so on, it's way too early to talk about this. It's
No.
optimization is something that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So the game is finished. That is an information that maybe you guys appreciate. The game is
That's
done as it
amazing.
is,
Yeah.
and that is something comfort we didn't have for KCD1. So and right now, what we are doing is the entire studio up until the day of release and even after, because it's just KCD is a ginormous game. We will be bug fixing and making it smoother, the experience better, and smooth out the experience pretty much. So, and we will make sure that it runs as good as possible on all the platforms. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think
I
like
mean,
obviously bugs and stuff were prevalent. Not I
mhm.
personally I didn't really mind. I didn't have any massive game breaking ones in KCD1.
That was the disadvantages of the bugs we had in KCD1, because many of them where so not every person experienced the same bugs, which made it if it would be that way, that this thing always breaks or this thing always has a bug, then it's easier to track them down and fix them. But there were people on PlayStation who reported back in the days that the game was pretty much unplayable. Then there were other people who said not a single bug seen in the
Yeah.
entire game playthrough, and we don't know why this is the fact. Maybe at minute 15 you turned left, and if you do
Yeah.
turn left, then something breaks in minute 50 or something. But as I said, generally the team is bigger. We
Yeah.
have more support from our publisher.
Mhm.
The game is bigger as well, so potentially more problems. But we have more time to work on fixes and smoothness and optimization and so on. So I'm very positive about the development here.
Oh, that's this just.
Knocking on wood,
Yeah. Oh, there you
everything
go.
goes
Got some
well,
here as
but
well. Yeah. I just. I'm just so excited. I think obviously we haven't got. Well, we've run over a little bit, but I just wanted to quickly ask: are we able to equip more than one weapon? Are we able to have like a couple of swords equipped?
we did an evolution again with the equipping SIP system or like loadout system or something like
Yeah.
that, if you want to call it. And I don't want to go too much into detail, but we want to make it a tiny bit easier to swap weapons and swap armor if the time calls for it. So there will be also some kind of evolution, how you change your outfits or change your weapons or something like that, to make it maybe step back a little bit from the over complicated systems into a more like a streamlined system, kind of.
And also, could I request something? Could I request a
No.
feature? No. Well,
What's
look,
the request?
I would love it if we had a menu toggle for the HUD, just so I could get screenshots on console.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay, you write that down.
On my KCD sticker I'm holding here, so
Yeah, yeah.
just wrote it down.
There was one more thing I was going to ask you, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. Oh yes, last thing. I'll let you go. Last thing, hardcore mode was a massive thing. So many people love hardcore mode in Kingdom Come 1. Is that going to be returning? Has that been evolved like the other features in the game?
We liked hardcore mode as well. It gave KCD another twist.
Yeah.
It again lifespan made it interesting, gave you a reason to replay it and so on. And we are thinking of a hardcore mode as well, of course. But the way, how, and when we implement it is a question. Again, we don't like to usually just copy paste.
No.
We like to rethink the stuff and make an evolution, but that is something that is still kind of under construction. But hardcore mode, we like it as well, and need to find a way if and how we can implement it, and when, of course.
And also, Henry needs to be able to poop. There was no. You can't.
I mean, he can sit down. He can sit down in one of those latrines and gets a boost for reading. So, like in real
There's
life.
that, but if there was like a flush button or just some like little tidbit that knew he was doing something,
Like a medieval flush button, you mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. I'm not sure if that was a thing in 1403, but
I can produce squeezing noises if you want.
can you?
I can.
Show me. Hired.
Yay! Imagine that's my only role I get. Anyway, Toby, you've been amazing. I'm sure I'm going to have you on here again at some point to talk a bit more. But we as a community are so fucking happy for Warhorse, for you as well. Just so excited to see where this goes and what happens, and hopefully we get to play it in October or something.
Is that your guesstimate?
That's
October?
late.
Okay.
My guesstimate, late October, early November.
Based on what?
I'm sure there was a reason. I can't remember what it was now. It was
Your tummy made funny noises, and it said October. Okay.
No, it was. I think there's events happening in Czech history around that time, and I think it'll be a good fit for releasing it then. And
if
also,
there's one thing,
yeah,
if there's one thing you can be absolutely sure in the gaming industry, that
yeah,
is that timing is always a problem,
yeah.
and tying it to those historical days, like at, I don't know, October 1st, there's something happening or so, that is almost
I
always
know.
never gonna happen, because it's just a million things that can go wrong, a million things that could intervene with your plans. There could be a GTA coming out of nothing. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
So there's always something. But you're right. We are absolutely, as I told you, the game is ready, like written and finished. We are not putting it like all together,
yeah.
and we are now looking for the best release date, kinda, and looking for when this could hit the shelves, kinda. But we are still very positive with this way, unless something happens. But
I'm
knock on wood again.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
I kind of
um,
I hope we have maybe like what happened with KCD1 where there was a beta released where we could at least do something on it or see it or play it a little bit.
this I can promise you will not happen. This is
No.
something. It's because these alphas, betas, or whatever things need to be absolutely stable, of course,
Yeah,
if you give
yeah.
it to the people. So this means that the team needs to work on that, and then at some like fix it, and I don't know, prepare it, and this would slow down the process of actually bringing the like working on the game itself. So it's
Mm,
like two different things, kinda, because you have to branch it out. You need to do the cuts. You need to prepare it, and
yeah.
so on. So this is something we cannot invest any time. We cannot use the
No, no, no.
benefit of having a bit more time now, and put the energy into a playable demo or something. But you, as the representative of the community, tell me how you like the two trailers.
Uh,
We had, did they, what feedback did you get from the community? What impressions did you get? Do you see any changes in there? Do you feel a change of pace or tone, or is it the same but better, or the same, or what's the talk of the streets here?
uh, people loved it. Like I don't remember seeing one negative comment about it when it was announced. Just everyone was hoping for more, not more of the same, but a continuation, and that's what we're getting. I love that the banter between I think one of the funniest scenes in the newest trailer, for instance, was when they're in the stocks together, and there's that banter between them, and then Hans gets hit in the face with a freaking apple. Stuff like that, I live for. I love that stuff. There was a shot. I think it's a Father Godwin, Hans, and Henry riding a horse, and there's this massive fields, and it's just this valley, and I was just like, the amount of possibilities of where I could go, what I could do, what I could see are just insane. And Kutno horror and exploring that, what we've seen of it, the little we have seen of it, like or buildings enterable, like
Mhm.
are we gonna be able to explore everything? And I think people have been so happy with what you guys have produced for these, obviously, last two trailers. I don't think there's a worry here from the community. I think you're
I
doing a
can
good job.
Yeah, I can tell you something you pretty much pointed out already, more or less. So we will, of course, KCD2 will focus much more on the buddy story between Henry and Hans. So this is absolutely something that's going on. And
Oh,
I can also uh, tell you that as I said earlier, that Henry has to now enter a bigger stage where there's bigger problems, and he's not the Sunday League champion anymore, but
yeah,
he's just a little fish again in a ginormous sea.
ocean, yeah,
And Henry will really quickly realize that he needs friends, that he can't do the crap himself anymore, and that he needs someone who fights along him, and or with him, or pushes towards the same goal, kinda. So we are this buddy story or companionship story or something like that. This will be the central element, I think, of
I think
KCD2. So
that's amazing.
KCD1, you're pretty much alone all the time, and this will not
Yeah.
happen anymore in KCD2.
Okay. So does that mean like, are you
That's everything I tell you. Like, That's the
What? So like what? No, but I just want to clarify. Does that mean we're going to be able to still go out as just Henry in the
Oh
forest,
yeah,
right?
of course,
Oh,
of
okay. I
course.
thought you
I'm
meant
just
we'd
saying
have a
that
companion
the
all the time.
problems you are solving, or the issues you have there, and the things you want to do can't be done alone anymore. So he
Okay.
needs someone
Yeah.
to help him achieve his goals. And the ultimate goal for him is, of course, still revenge. There's still Marquardt
Yeah.
von Aulitz going on. There's still Istvan Toth who's having that sword.
Yeah.
But there's even bigger things going on. I
Oh.
mean, many of the we saw Henry, Hans, and Godwin on a battlement, for instance, as well. So
Yeah.
so there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm just, you know
Dude,
me. I'm super excited. Is there anything you want to shout out or give mention to for everyone to go and check out?
uh, big love to you and your community, of course. You are part of Warhorse, always been there, always will annoy me about all the secret stuff and things I can't tell
It's
you.
out of love.
Yes, but yeah, we are equally looking forward to not only release the game but also be able to talk about it, show
Yeah.
new trailers, show new stuff, show new pictures. We need to dose it to build up the excitement,
Yeah.
but I think at the end of the day, uh, we'll have a really good game, I guess. I really feel strongly for KZ2, and I hope this will resonate with you guys as well. So stay tuned and stay medieval, everyone, I guess.
Exactly. And I'll be back soon. We're hopefully going to be interviewing some other people, but I obviously need to go through all the avenues to do that. But yeah, expect more interviews and expect Toby to come back soon, probably when the game is closer to release. But anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, Toby.
Thank you very much for having me.
And thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment down below, but until next time, that's me and Toby out.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.